everyone, today I'm going to do a walkthrough of the 10 layouts I made using the Hip Kit Club June kits, and I had the main kit and the embellishment kit. And I went to a weekend away with some girlfriends scrapbooking last weekend, and I started on this kit and I ended up deciding that I was going to try and kill the kit during the weekend. And on the weekend I made 9 of these layouts, and then this morning I made another one. I think I could probably squeeze out one more layout. It wouldn't have a lot of pattern paper left on it. Yeah, at the moment I have 10. I'm really happy with getting that out of these kits because each of the layouts has quite a lot of detail on it. I have added in cardstock, and I'll point out any of the items that I've added into the kit in order to stretch it this far, and I'll also highlight some of the products that I particularly liked. So this was the first layout that I made. I added in this Vicky Bouton pre-made mixed media background. I love these mixed media backgrounds. They can be a great way to kick off a process, just like a cut file can be a great way to kick off a layout as well. So the purple, pink and the gold were part of the pre-made background, and then at the end I added in the black touches. This kit had little touches of black with a black and white striped paper and some black clear stickers, which I really liked. The other thing I particularly liked were these fabric bows, and since doing these bows I've actually bought myself a bow die cut so I can make myself some more because they were really lovely. Oh, actually I also added in this was a die cut a cut file I did on my Cameo, the journal planner pages, which I cut out on my Cameo on a scenic route. Now, if you've been around for a long time in scrapbooking, you might recognize that name, but this was an old scenic route paper that I actually have a whole pack of because I loved it so much, and I had that in my folder of pre-made cut files. So that I can use cut files when I go away for weekends, I now take a folder full of cut files that I have made rather than having to take my Cameo with me, and I use those to kick off a lot of layouts. And I have used some of those cut files in these layouts. That was layout number 1. Layout number 2, some old photos of myself and my son. This is the black and white striped paper that was in the kit, and I love it, and I have used every last bit of it. So the cardstock here is a Vicky Bouton Foundations paper, so that was added into the kit. I don't subscribe to the cardstock kit because I have so much cardstock. The flowers and stuff are cut from a pattern paper that came with the kit, the stickers, these gorgeous envelopes were as part of the kit as well, and more clear stickers. So I did a mixed media background, and the black and white paper had like these little splashes of purple on it, like mixed media splashes of purple. So I actually carried that into that background that I did. And then these stitches are actually 49 Market rub-ons. They are gorgeous, and they just add that finishing touch to this layout, and they were in addition to the kit as well. Again, more of these gorgeous fabric bows. Layout number 3, a beautiful photo of my niece. My nieces are very photogenic, and I can't resist scrapbooking them. So this layout, I used one of the pattern papers to create the background, and in order that the photo and cluster around the photo stood out, I used some gesso on the background of the pattern paper. These elements are all from the kit except for the stars. They were something that I had recently bought that I thought was super cute and worked well with this layout. And then there's splashes. I'm not sure if you can see it in the video. There's just sparkly splashes of a new silver glitter texture paste that I bought that you can dilute down with water and create the most beautiful sparkly splatters with it. So that was layout number 3. Number 4, everything is from the kits except for the cut file, which is in a silver glitter paper, which again I cut before I left home, and I had these in my folder. The I really like the new trend with the diagonal line across the layouts, and I've actually done a few of those in this group of layouts using that triangular type idea. So this is the two pattern papers joined together. I actually, because I love both the pattern papers, I actually put it onto a piece of cardstock that I didn't want so that I could keep both the other half of the black and the other half of the pink, and then the die cuts that came with the kit through the middle. Again, this is another one of those pockets and cards. Even though I didn't use it for journaling, I just used it for layering. I'm more of that silver glitter paste as well. So sparkly, which worked really well with that beautiful silver glitter paper. That was layout 4. This is layout 5. So I went for a completely different look with this layout, and I used little squares of the pattern paper, different pattern papers in the kit. The background is mixed media, is foundations paper from Vicky Bouton, and I used some beautiful glitter or shimmer watercolor paints that I have, and I used a combination of 2 different blues and a green, a tealy green, to create this watery look in the background. So that whole square through, because you can see bits behind the square paper, is all covered in this beautiful watercolor. I just set it aside to dry naturally. It did take quite a while to dry because I added a lot of water to this, but the Vicky Bouton foundations paper stands up extraordinarily well to large amounts of water. Then it's just 2-inch squares of all the different pattern papers laid down, and then the embellishments from the kit. Now I added in some glass seed beads, and also these sparkly silver bits that are added in with the seed beads are actually the centers of sequins that were left in the pack that had stuck to the sides of a pack of sequins that I bought. So I just sprinkled them out from the packet and then stuck them down where they landed. So they were quite random, and I just stuck them down where they were. So it worked out. I really, really like it. The silver and the beads. I think it works really well with that watery type background. So that was layout number 5. This is layout number 6, a layout about my son and our oldest dog when he was a puppy, running down to the beach when we used to live in Australia. Pattern paper background. Now I actually used this pattern paper for a piece of it for another layout, and so I had a bit missing, and so I had a small 12 by 12 strip of this green check, which I really like, this green check, and it works so well with the letters. So these titles came in the kit. I should mention, going back to this one, a lot of the titles I actually rubbed a little bit of white acrylic paint over because they were very, very bold colors in those titles, and a little bit of white. I used white acrylic ink. You could use gesso, you could use acrylic paint, just to tone them down a bit because they were pretty bold. But this one was the right color to work with the green and the other green accents that I used in this layout. So I think I'm really happy with how that turned out. Even though it's flowers and it's got touches of pink and it's a layout about my son, I think it works really well with the topic. This layout is my nieces with their grandparents in the UK. So my nieces moved with my sister and brother-in-law back to the UK before COVID. I now haven't seen them for face-to-face for 2.5 years. So it's always pretty tough, but I'm lucky that my sister gives me access to lots and lots of photos, and we Zoom call or messenger call really regularly, which is lovely. So I did this layout of some photos my sister shared with my brother-in-law's parents. And so this is again another one of those layouts with the triangle type effect. So the triangles in the corners, small and a large one. This is that beautiful shimmer watercolor paint again. It was really good color match with the colors in this kit, and that's a cut file behind there that I took with me. So I made the triangles first and put them down, marked them out, and then did the watercolor. So the watercolor doesn't extend into this triangle, under this triangle, and the cut file is actually an edge cut file that would normally, so it's 12-inch wide to sit across a layout, and I put it on the diagonal against those, against that large triangle. And then this part of the layouts just clusters and layers. And This doily is from my stash, but everything else on this layout is from the kit. Another one of those super gorgeous fabric bows, and here too, I really, really like them. I wish I had like another couple of packets. They're just gorgeous. And then finishing this off, it has some gold mist sprinkled onto it, so it's just got touches of that gold across the watercolor. And again, that's a Vicky Bouton foundation paper behind this. So this layout, another mixed media background, again Vicky Bouton foundations paper. The background's a watercolor paint done with my normal watercolor palette. And also this here is the Vicky Bouton Gold Glaze, and because it's water-based, you can use like a stencil brush to put it through your stencil, so you can get a soft edge on it rather than a hard edge that you would get with many texture pastes. This photo is from my recent birthday when we went out to dinner with friends. We went to an Indian banquet. It was amazing. And so I wanted to document this. The journaling is actually on the tag, which is tucked into the pocket behind the photo. Flower layers. These little flowers are from my stash. They weren't part of the kit. And this frame, because this is a shaker pocket, which I'll talk about in a moment, this frame was from a previous kit. So it was a Hip Kit Club kit. It just happened to be the perfect color, and I really felt like making another shaker pocket. So you can see there, it's got gold, glitter, and hearts in it. And then the same color as this green and a darker navy blue, which picks out these navies that's on this layout in that shaker pocket. Now, I often, when I make my shaker pockets, so there is a process video in my feed with me making a shaker pocket step by step, so you can see that, and I will be doing a how-to video on shaker pockets as well. I often back my shaker pockets with acetate so that you can see through them, but in this instance, because the pocket was sitting over layers of paper, you could see through and it was a bit messy, so I've actually backed it with some pink paper that's part of this kit. So you can see little touches of this black and white striped paper, which I adore, and these buttons were also in the kit and they were beautiful as well, and I used most of those between the layouts. So these are all just strips. They're not full pieces of paper that go through underneath. This is in order to conserve paper. What I ran out of first in the kit was paper. And then when the kit was finished, so these gorgeous letters, thanks for coming. So these were the pre-made titles, and then the for coming was from the yellow letters that were part of the kit. And then I splashed gold ink on the background. So this layout has a pattern paper background, and the cut file I cut before I went. I knew that there were pinks in this kit, so I cut a cut file in pink cardstock that matched in with the pinks that were in this kit. These are die cuts from the, oops, it looks like I need to re-stick these butterflies. They're a little bit difficult to stick actually. They keep wanting to lift off. I'm gonna have to try yet another adhesive with them. So I backed this cut file with vellum, and this was my first attempt at backing with vellum. It was an adventure, but I learned a lot from the experience, and I'm happy with how it turned out in the end. I think it really helps the word in that cut file to stand out. This is my beautiful niece Amelia. So she's wearing, you know, a pink shirt, pinky purple shirt, and eating purple ice cream. I really couldn't go past purple and pink colors to go with that. And then I just distressed these torn sections and put the pink in behind, which is that same sort of shade of pink as is in the cut file, and layers of just various papers behind the photo. These here are more of these seed beads and also some silver sequins, and they just flow through the layout to draw you from the top with the Hello Beautiful down to happiness and the photo. And then this is layout number 10, which I did this morning, and this is an old photo of Benson and a very good friend of his, Chelsea. And this layout was using lots of leftover bits of the pattern paper in particular. So I had these triangles already from the various triangle layouts that I had already done. And so I decided I was going to use them in the bottom. So it's bigger triangle and a smaller triangle at the top there. Then I had various little journaling cards left. and I basically layered up bits of paper in under the photo, added some mixed media between the triangles. Now the mixed media is also to help this cut file, which is a white cut file, to stand out. It's more there just for texture and just another layer of detail. It's a really pretty cluster of flowers cut file, but I think it works really well just to ground this section of the layout so it's not floating between the two triangles. The title is Happy. Again, it's had some white acrylic ink put over that to tone it down, because that green is a very bold Kelly green, I would call it. But elements of that green are here. So the background's got that greeny blue colour in it like this. Then there's the Kelly green and triangles that are behind the photo and embellishment cluster and in the sticker. And these are the bows that I made from bits of the pattern paper I had left to replicate the fabric bows that have been in this kit. And I'm tempted one day just to sit and make a heap of these because they are so cute. And another one here at the top of this sticker. So yeah, as I said, this was a layout made essentially with leftover pieces, and I really love how it came together. I could possibly challenge myself to make an 11th layout, but this is the pattern paper that I have left from the kit. So this is it, and I actually used backings from embellishments because they were quite pretty in various layers behind photos, etc. So this is the paper that I have left. Not very much. And I also don't have very many embellishments. The only thing that I do have a lot left of is the letter stickers, because I really tried to use these pre-made titles as much as I could. And so I didn't end up using very many of the very pretty, I'll show you them, letter stickers from this kit. So there was this yellow cursive and the green title. So I think I used this on 2 and this on 1 layout. So I've got heaps of those left, but not much else in the way of embellishments either. So that's it. That's the June Hip Kit Club. Now I'm not on the design team for them or anything. I just love their kits, and I find their papers and embellishments are different to what I can get locally. And so I really enjoy working with bright colours. Anybody who follows my YouTube channel will know how bright and colourful my layouts can be. And so these kits work really well for me. So if you are interested in them, you can go and check them out at Hip Kit Club. But I really enjoyed it, and I have really enjoyed killing this kit. And I've got a retreat coming up next weekend, and I plan on trying to do the same thing with the July kit. Okay, thank you.